if you ask me. Big story here. Dems move to make South Carolina, not Iowa, first vote state. And it's supposed to be looking out for black people to have more power in the elections. Let me play this.
First and more, some breaking news. Democrats have voted lead-off state in the presidential nominating calendar.
Queen City News chief political correspondent Emma With now to break this down. Emma, this information just came down just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it's exciting. This is a huge win for South Carolina Democrats, not only economically, but it also gives the state a lot more power in the process of nominating their party's candidate. Now, this move still needs to get approved by the full DNC. That vote will probably happen early in next year. But the AP reports that it'll most likely be aligned with the committee's decision, which just came down. Now, even though the majority of the DNC is supportive of this decision to make South Carolina the first in the nation, Democratic leaders in New Hampshire, Iowa, and Nevada have pushed back. New Hampshire's Democratic Party even tweeted, quote, "The DNC didn't give New Hampshire the first in the nation primary, and it's not theirs to take away," end quote. Now, New Hampshire still has their over 100-year-old law in place that enshrines their state as the first primary stop. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. We'll get into the weeds of that coming up at 6. Bye.
Most likely it's not going to happen at all. So let me read this. It says, Dems move to make South Carolina, not Iowa, first voting state. Democrats have voted to remove Iowa as the leadoff state on the presidential nominating calendar and replace it with South Carolina starting in 2024. I don't see that happening, but it's not fair the way it's done with the order of the states, that the primaries, and then these little states who have very low populations have so much power on the outcome of especially the primaries, because certain candidates have already got a lead early in the thing that can't be overcome later on, because people jump on the bandwagon. People like to vote for the winner, so it's already looking like this person's going to win, so that's why they vote for them. That's what they tried to do for Hillary Clinton. Basically, that is what they did for Hillary Clinton. Both times that she ran in the primaries, so it heavily weighs. It's not fair.
Yep. Let
me read some more. It says, this is like the only thing Iowa has. Without this, they're basically Idaho. That's terrible. Let me read another comment. It says, during the 1860 president election, many politicians and voters in southern states viewed Abraham Lincoln's candidacy as a threat to the institution of slavery. When Lincoln won the election, some southern states, beginning with South Carolina, declared their independence from the Union and formed a separate government called the Confederacy. So, what, you're going to punish South Carolina because of that history? Is that what you're saying that for? Let me read another one. It says, what if the first voting state was all of them, and we put an end to this nonsense where half the country doesn't even get to vote on who they want in the primaries? Now, that's a good freaking deal. In other countries, they do it like that because we have this super long political process. It's way longer than any other country, I want to say. Hey, you guys quote me on that. Somebody check me on that. But our process is long as hell. I be following the UK politics. They should be over in like a week, a couple of weeks. It's like, I think it's like a month long and they're done. Freaking we go on for like 2 years and shit. You have the primaries and then you have the general election. And then the voting happens sporadically. Yeah. How come everybody can't vote on or around the same day, within the same couple of days or whatever? Put it all on the same week. Make it, and like a lot of people be saying, they should make like a voting holiday. They do that in other countries. You don't have to go to work. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go to school. Today is voting day. So that allows people the time to go do it, and it becomes like a holiday, like a festive activity. And I think that'll also drive more participation, because another thing about us, we're like one of the countries that has the lowest participation in our whole thing, like 20-30. I wouldn't put it at 40%, probably like somewhere between 20 and 30% of us even vote at all. The rest of us don't even vote.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me read another comment. It says, as an Iowan, this makes me sad, but I think it's for the best. It's cool that I've gotten to meet all the candidates who pretend to care for 9 months, but Iowa doesn't really accurately represent the nation the way some other states do. And he's from Iowa. Let me read a couple more. It says, when all you have to offer the country is nothing at all, when you have nothing else to do but lose, when you're unhappy and you know it, try and change everything. What is he trying to say? It sounds like a nursery rhyme. Let me read another one. It says, must be nice to be the political party that can change anything to fit their needs. What next, I wonder? I don't think they changed anything, buddy. You're giving them way too much credit. Let me read another comment. It's an outsider. I worry that having the first primary in South Carolina is going to push the DNC rightwards. I think most Democratic voters want a left-wing party more like Bernie and less like Clinton. Yeah, so this move at the end of the day, I'm sure is going to work against progressives, because if the Democrats agree